McArthur Squash Center has clearly exceeded our expectations. We could not be more excited. The fundraising for the squash facility came totally from Jeffrey Woodruff. He made this perhaps the most easy project we've ever worked with in terms of working with the donor.
There just aren't many large facilities that have been built in the country solely for squash. The facility is definitely good enough to host major events, and we're hosting one in September.
Prior to constructing this, I toured squash facilities on the East Coast to find out who had the best facilities. Clearly, Jeffrey Woodruff had a vision.
We hired a world-class coach, and he's come in and hit the ground running and organized several of major events already. He's only been here for 2 or 3 months. Mark Allen is truly a gift to our program.
I turned squash professional at 18 years old after finishing her 3rd in the World Junior Championships, and went on the Pro Tour, played for 3 years on the Pro Tour and reached the highest world ranking of 41 in the world. And then as a coach, I've coached in 4 continents, and yeah, just been doing my craft all over the world. One of the things that excited me about the position was the chance to actually start a program fresh, and I think Charlottesville, Richmond, this kind of area was the natural place for squash to move to next. It's kind of a game that's gradually been spreading south down the East Coast.
The Philadelphia, New York area is this country's center for squash. But as squash wants to continue to grow and expand, it needs to move in other directions. And Charlottesville is really an obvious choice for the next place for squash to go. I think we've seen this with lacrosse. Lacrosse typically was a mid-Atlantic sport. Now you're finding schools in South Carolina that are offering lacrosse. Notre Dame, University of Denver have created good lacrosse programs. I think squash is going to do the same thing.
I've been to bigger facilities, but I don't think I've been to a facility as beautiful as this. The McArthur Squash Center, the way it's built, and this center court are as good as anything in the world out there right now.
There are about 25,000 people that have access to this facility currently, including UVA students, faculty, staff, all Boar's Head members. And then, you know, to make it a wider pool of people that can at least try it out a couple of times a month, we're open for play to anybody who wants to play.
I think when the community comes in here, particularly for the grand opening, their jaw is going to drop.
As a spectator venue, it's up there with the very best. This glass court has seating for 400, and we estimate could stand another 600 around there. And it's been built with TV in mind, so we can host big events and do live web streaming and put them onto the TV, which is, there's very few of these courts around, permanent courts around in the world. As squash grows in Charlottesville and as squash grows at UVA, our program here will grow to be one of the biggest actually programs in the United States.
Many people will go through life and never have the opportunity to work on something that's considered the best in the world. And we really are honored to be able to say at the end of our careers, we did work on something that was best in the world.